Hi everyone, welcome to this session. In this video, we will learn about RAP architecture. We will understand its main components and see how they work together to build RAP application. Let's get started. RAP has three-layered architecture: data modeling, service provisioning, and service consumption layers. The data modeling layer will define behavior definition and its behavior. And it has the components like a database table, interface view, behavior definition, and implementation. Service provisioning is used to expose our behavior definition as an OData service. It has a components like projection view, behavior definition per projection, metadata extension, service definition, and binding. And service consumption is used to consume our OData service defined by service binding, either it is query UI or any other application UI. Let us get into the detailed theoretical about each and every component of RAP architecture. Database table. In REP terminology, we call this as a persistence table. So this is our permanent storage location to store our business data. Ultimately, all the CRUD operations will affect this table. Interface view. So is nothing but it is the core business object of our REP application. We create this interface view on top of database table. So this interface view will expose the business data to RAP framework. It will get the data from database table or persistence table. So it will get the data from persistence table to RAP framework. Depends on the scenario, we create this interface view. Suppose if we are dealing with only one type of data, we create only one interface view, that is root view. Suppose we are building a application like for header and item data, we create root view for header data and child view for item data. Next one is behavior definition. So we create the behavior definition on top of interface view. It defines the behavior of our business object. So that this behavior definition specifies like CRUD operations, validations, determinations, etc. So we define all the operations and behavior definition. So it controls how the behavior, it controls how our business object should have to behave. Behavior implementation. It is nothing but a global ABAP class. So we implement the ABAP logic related to all the definitions, all the operations maintained in behavior definition. So for example, the logic related to the CRUD operations, validations, determinations, actions, etc. should contain in the behavior implementation class. Whenever user performs an action on user interface, either if the user clicks on create, update, delete, or any custom action like approve or reject, that corresponding method will triggered by the framework from this implementation class. In single line, we can say behavior definition defines what should happen, and behavior implementation contains the above logic that makes it happen. That's all we can say about behavior definition and behavior implementation. And projection CDS view. This comes under a service provisioning layer. So we create this projection CDS view on top of interface CDS view. So the purpose of this view is it will expose only the required fields and operations from the interface view. So finally, this is the view will be consumed by the Fiori applications in the service consumption layer. Metadata extension, we create this metadata extension for projection CDS view. So it contains all the UI annotations to enhance the user interface. So the main purpose of this extension file is to separate the user interface annotations from the core business logic. Next one is projection behavior. It exposes only the required business operations to the consumer. Like if the interface behavior supports create, update, and delete. But if we want to hide the delete operations in the front end, so in projection behavior, we can choose only create and update. Then it won't show the delete operations on the front end. So that's how we control using projection behavior, which operations we need to show the consumer. Service definition and service binding. Service definition is used to expose the serious entities as an data service. So without this service definition, we cannot expose the business data to the framework user interface. So service binding is used to publish our behavior business object as an data service, either it is OData V2 or V4. So we have to, once we publish this service binding, it will be available to the consumers. So, and it will provide the preview of our application data as well without deploying to the front end. Without deploying to the BTP, we can see the our application preview in service binding step itself. So this is the overall steps to implement the RAP application. It is starting with database table and ending with the service binding. After service binding, once we publish the service binding, it will show the preview of our application as we discussed earlier. So this is the overall picture about RAP architecture so far. Thank you. See you again. Bye bye.